In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the free bid types available to you within Amazon PPC, how you can use them to really optimize your existing campaigns and reduce your ACoS and therefore increasing your profits. Jumping into our campaign manager, you can see the manual campaigns we've looked into previously, and to give you an idea on why you want to do this and the results you can get, across the last 7 days, for the same weightlifting belts we've looked in previously, I created an exact match campaign. Now, as you can see here, the average cost of sale across the last 7 days has been just 23%, as opposed to my manual broad match campaign is over double, that's at 50%. So essentially what I've done is I've taken the profitable keywords from this campaign and put them inside an exact match campaign. So customers are searching for these exact keywords, which I know are profitable and have vastly increased and improved my profit there. So I'm going to show you exactly how I've done that. Inside this broad match campaign, we know we have 3 different types of keywords available to us, and I'm going to show you those now. So we have broad, which is, as we discussed previously, exactly any of the keywords that you type in, they can be searched by a customer and your product will come up and be displayed. So weightlifting belts. With this, a customer can search in any of these terms and your product could be displayed within those search results. So if they typed in weight belt, your product will be displayed. They would not have to type in the whole sentence, it wouldn't have to be weightlifting belt. The second option available to us is a phrase match, which would mean every single one of these keywords or individual words would need to be included in their search term to show up, but it would not need to be in this particular order. So they could have potentially put something like lifting belt weights or weights, and your products would come up within phrase match. So that's a way to dial down and become more specific in exactly what you want the customer to be searching for. The most precise way of doing that is an exact match campaign, and that is that a customer would have to type in these exact words without any spelling errors in that particular order. So only your product will be displayed when they search for this exact term, and in turn they can often become cheaper and it's a more direct way of getting sales. So I'm going to show you exactly how we can create a new campaign and do that. So I'm just going to select a number of these and we're going to put them into a Word document. And what we're going to do is we're going to use those to create a new campaign. So what I'll do is I'll just select 5 of those. We'll go through it quickly and we'll use those. Obviously you want to do this with as many keywords as possible, and the way I would suggest doing it is identifying any that have either made sales or specifically have been profitable. It may be something similar to this. We know that this is close to our break-even point at 60%. That's not particularly profitable, but if you were to move that into a more dialed down approach in an exact match campaign, that may well become a lot cheaper in terms of the cost per click. That may come down to 50%, and all of a sudden perhaps your ACoS is only at about 30% for that particular keyword. So okay, there's our 5 search terms that we're going to focus on. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come out of here and we're going to create a whole new campaign to show you how to do this. Alright. You can do it in a number of different ways really. You can actually create a separate campaign, which is the way I like to do it, for exact match and phrase match, bearing in mind you already have a broad match, so you don't really need to do that. We're going to select the product we've been using, which is our weightlifting belt, and on this occasion what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an exact match for the weightlifting belt. So I've made it clear there in the campaign name exactly what it is we're focusing on, and then I'd go ahead and I would create the same again for a phrase match. You can do it within the same campaign and you can create additional ad groups. I personally prefer to just do them in their own campaign so I can really dial down and identify specifically how each of those bid types are performing. So again, I'm going to put a £200 daily bid. It probably won't get to that because we're going to be very specific in what we're searching for But again, it just shows Amazon that we're willing to spend that money and it'll give us some quality clicks. Default bid. You can go, I know we were bidding about 90p for the broad match campaign. I don't anticipate it being more than that, but I'm going to put £1 to make sure we're getting the most amount of clicks possible. We're going to be keyword targeted as opposed to product targeted, and we're going to enter these manually. Most important thing to do here is to select the exact match bid type. When we go ahead and create a second campaign with phrase match, we'd obviously click phrase match, but these ones we want to make sure they're all an exact match. Come back over to Word and select the keywords that we've been using and add those in. Now, as you can see here, these are the keywords, and the suggested bid is significantly lower than 90p with the exception of the gym back support. So I do anticipate the cost of these clicks actually being cheaper and more relevant, so it's a win-win. You won't get as many clicks as a broad match campaign because it does need to be these words in those exact formats and that exact order, so it's not the same as a broad match. You would get more clicks there, but this is certainly going to be more relevant. Again, you can go ahead and put negative phrases in, but because you are using the exact match, that will not be a problem. Launch campaign. Go back into the campaign manager, and they will now be somewhere amongst my long list of advertising that we're conducting currently. Again, for the phrase match, you can go in and do exactly the same thing. Coming down here, let's make sure we're doing manual targeting. So enter keywords. We'll make sure we've put in all of this information to reflect the fact that it is going to be a phrase match. You can add your products in, but this time using exactly the same keywords. They won't show up on the same search results. You will not be charged twice. You will not get charged for two bids on one search result. You only ever get charged for one. Make sure this is under phrase match, and then you could go ahead and launch that campaign. So they're your free search terms available to you. So again, just to show you how that will work on Amazon, weightlifting belts. So the results will come up. However, under the same search result, I could have put weight belt, and essentially your same advert would potentially show up there. Wouldn't have to be in the exact same order. By putting in weightlifting belt, if it was a phrase match search term, it would have to include all of these keywords, but not necessarily in that order. So it could be weight belt lifting, and your same advert would show up here. If it was a exact match campaign, we would need it to be in the exact order that we've typed in, without any spelling mistakes, without perhaps if someone had put weightlifting belt, that's not exact match, your product would not show up underneath that. So with that, you can really dial down and optimize your current campaigns. I would suggest going through all of your adverts that you've created. If you have a number of products, you can do this. If you create different types of adverts, you can do more generic terms in one and longer tail keywords another. This one has literally got all of the keywords I've ever really included. A lot of them have been paused because they haven't performed very well. You can see there's actually 509 of those. What you can do is go to lifetime, search for ACOS, and identify those that are profitable. So anything really under 60%. Probably anything from here downwards, particularly that one because it's had 17 orders. I will select all of these keywords, and I would look to put those in both a phrase match and a exact match campaign. And that's how you dial down and optimize your listings. It's something you can continue to do over time, and certainly you can see the results of your PPC improving as well as your sales.